I think we're late.
Wait.
Well, we're always
What are we
late, you know
doing?
that.
I'm
Is this a
calm.
Show,
football?
I think. We are live again. 4 plungers for the bald man punishment this week. I've got 3 back here. There's a big pile back there. Eli Apple.
Best go day forward.
Yep, we miss him here in New York. This is Super Bowl week. It's finally here. We are 2 days or whatever out from the big event, the culmination of a championship in the league that we all love and follow. So what we're going to do, we're just going to count down the minutes until Super Bowl 56 by just sitting here in silence until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Are we okay with that?
Yeah. Sorry, it's just texting some sources.
3 days,
around
4
the-
hours, 22 minutes, and 8 seconds.
All right, let's wait then. You guys ready?
4.
Well, I'm going to take a nap.
2.
Okay.
Good night.
All right, guys, we're 3 days, 4 hours, 21 minutes, and 58 seconds away now.
Ooh, Super Bowls.
It advanced though. That's progress.
It's a Super Sports Ball, baby, and then we all do 4 separate streams and cannibalize each other, just like
Nom, nom,
God
nom, nom,
intended.
Yeah, because we got to cash in on this whole Super Bowl thing.
We're
Superb.
gonna-
man.
Can we say it
You mean?
though? Is it legal to refer to it as the Super Bowl? Like right
I think it's
now?
trademarked, unless it's like a radio commercial. Like if it's like a radio or TV commercial, you can't. I think like if you're talking on a podcast, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you
'Cause I
can
know
say
for
it with
certain spots,
DraftKings.
like no, you can't
Oh.
say it with DraftKings.
But
actually.
they're an
You can't say
official
Super Bowl with
partner.
DraftKings.
Of the
Yeah, you
NFL.
can say it with DraftKings.
It's
They're
not-
official sports betting partner of the Super Bowl. Ooh.
Well, it's the NFL. They're a partner
We're
of the
getting into this
NFL.
right now.
Yeah. Whoa, DraftKings Clickbait, that's your code. You just use the code when you sign up over at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's most loved sportsbook. Love, Valentine's Day, Super Bowl. It's all the same these days. And for new customers, you're going to get 56-1 odds on either football team to win this weekend. Bet $5 and win 280 in free bets. You can also
Where's
do
that
this in
thing?
New
Where's
York.
the thing with the code?
You
Where?
can do it in New York. Oh, we need the overlay for the
Clickbait.
code.
Yes, put the
There's one.
there it is.
DraftKings Click.
Right where my sneaker helmet is. That's the code. Code clickbait.
Yeah, code Clickbait. You can do prop bets for the Super Bowl. Like, will a player that's not a quarterback throw a pass? Fourth down conversions, total yardage, all sorts of fun ways to make the most interesting sporting event on earth even more interesting. Just use Clickbait.
And can
Link in the description. DraftKings Sportsbook.
I have a question? Can we make
Yes.
prop bets on if Aaron Rodgers is going to the Broncos or not?
Ooh. How do you prop
Because
bet that?
I'm betting on no
Yes.
for that.
Maybe
we-
yes and hard yes.
Can we make a prop bet? Will we see Cooper Cup's actual cup at some
Nah.
point?
It's a
'Cause
little
my
too
over under
low.
on that is like -6.
No, he doesn't wear a cup
Oh, he
based on the
doesn't?
pictures I've seen.
Online. All right, Tom had a punishment that's
Yes.
way overdue. And we're gonna get into this
Couple
before we are
punishments.
gonna actually make stupid Super Bowl predictions and talk about the
I mean,
game.
to be fair, too, I just want to defend myself real quick. It was delayed because the movie did just come out last week. It wasn't like
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't
Just saying.
care.
You
what
should have
the
got a
reason
screener,
is.
Tom. Why didn't you have
Yeah.
a
if
screener?
if I used my whatever this is and my cash in of a favor was to get an early screener of this godforsaken movie, then no, just no.
So to reset this, the punishment was Tom had to watch the Kevin James, Sean Payton movie and then make a video essay on it or whatever, or video report. So Tom, why don't you set it up and tell us what you thought of the movie.
So back in December, it was either I go to the movie theater and risk getting COVID, which hindsight, I should have, to watch the Kurt Warner movie, because then at least I could have died and not have to watch this movie. There's a movie that's out on Netflix. You've seen the trailers for it. Kevin James movie titled Home Team, in which Kevin James plays Sean Payton. And I watched that entire thing and an attempt at comedy. And unfortunately, I did a video essay about it, and it's over 5 minutes long, and I couldn't condense it any further than that. So you're going to have my voiceover here with a number of stills from the movie itself. And this really is just, don't watch it. If anything, this is a warning to not watch it. Watching Tree shake his ass is a million times better. I can say ass because it's in the Bible, and it's truly, truly awful. So with that being said, here is the 5-minute and 40-second video review of this godforsaken movie. Home Team, the wonderful film based off of Sean Payton's time as a high school football coach, starring Kevin James, is quite the film. And you know you're in for a treat as soon as the movie starts, as you see actual Super Bowl footage, including Peyton Manning throwing an interception, and instead of it being Sean Payton, it has just been subbed in for Kevin James. Now, of course, this movie is going to take a turn, and going from the highs of the Super Bowl to the lows of the suspension of Sean Payton during Bountygate, in which he has an assistant who, because she's a woman, doesn't understand football. They play that for no laughs. Sean Payton heads to Texas to watch his high school son play the football, and we're introduced to the team, but not before Sean Payton checks in at a hotel and he starts the amazing feud with the desk clerk there. And there's a really funny line where he asked if there's rooms, and the desk guy is like, oh, there's only the presidential suite. And Sean Payton's like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, oh, but it's $125 a night. And Sean Payton's like, yeah, that's still fine, because, oh, wow, big city money coming to a small town. Now, before I get into the actual football here, I have to say the feud between Sean Payton and the desk clerk is just so amazing. There's a jacuzzi that keeps on making noise throughout the night, and Kevin James has to call the desk clerk and is like, this noise is bad. And the desk clerk's like, some guests find it soothing. Funny jokes. And there's another time where there's a lot of noise that's coming from another room, and the desk clerk goes, oh, that's the royal suite. If you don't like that, I could bring a fan up to disguise the noise. And of course, this all ends with the desk clerk showing his wife giving birth to Sean Payton, and shows the picture mid-birth. This is the kind of comedy that we're working with here. Now, don't think the laughs stop it there, because Sean Payton heads to this small high school, and we meet the coach of the team. And of course, that's played by that guy who was in the Twilight movies, and he does keep his shirt on, which was a bit surprising. And of course, you have an assistant coach, and how we're introduced to him is his neighbor died and he stole his bicycle. Sean Payton's over in the stands, and who does he see? His ex-wife. However, who's his ex-wife canoodling with? Her brand new husband, played by Rob Schneider. And they're in a Snuggie, and the Snuggie is so warm it's melting the chocolate in their trail mix. These are actual jokes and scenes from this movie. Why, God, why did you make me watch it? Well, it turns out the high school team is downright awful, so much so that their scoreboard's not even on because they haven't scored a frackin' touchdown all year. This all changes, though, once Sean Payton starts to get involved, and oh no, what happens? They score a touchdown, and of course, it's Sean Payton's son. He runs back a defensive fumble. They celebrate like they won the game, even though they lost like 38-6, and that's when things start to turn around. However, this is when the drama really kicks in, because for some reason, sports media outside of this small town starts picking it up and saying, oh man, there's a feud that's a brewing between this random high school coach and Sean Payton. Wow. drama. Well, Sean Payton starts taking over play calling duties, and all of a sudden the team starts to win and get better and better. There's one phenomenal scene in which they're playing in the rain and all the kids are really sick and one starts to vomit. And Twilight Man goes, "Hey coach, they're all sick. We should pull them." And Kevin James / Sean Payton's like, "No, let's not do that." They run a play and the kid starts projectile vomiting on all of the opposing players. But the kids are so grossed out that they don't realize that the Warriors, which is the team, sorry I didn't mention that before, that Sean Payton is coaching, they run it in for a touchdown and they win, and everyone starts vomiting, which is what I wanted to do after watching this movie. As we reach the climax of the film, it's the Porcupines versus the Warriors, and Sean Payton has a chance to win the game. However, Harlan, a small child who is their field goal kicker who hasn't made a single kick all season, he's like, "It's the final game, everybody plays." And they send the little small child in who then kicks the field goal, except it goes wide right, misses completely, and makes the scoreboard explode. And all the players start chanting and they're so happy and celebrating because that scoreboard, it was so bad when they sucked. They still lost the championship game, but this means something. Oh yeah, and by the way, Sean Payton also reconciles with his estranged son. I don't really care about that though. Oh, and I almost forgot, Bill Cowher's in this movie for like 2 minutes because he's running plays with Sean Payton on how to make this high school team better. Good God, this movie sucked. The movie concludes with the best possible outcome. Sean Payton returning to his office, greeting his assistant, who's like, "Wow, you're a lot more patient now after you spent a year coaching those kids." And he's like, "Ha ha ha, don't get used to it. Ha ha, women in sports." And then he gets to his office where he's greeted by the janitor, and the janitor's like, "Man, we really sucked without you." And what do you see? The janitor is the real Sean Payton in the worst wig you could possibly imagine. And that's how the story ends. This movie, if I had to give it a ranking, I would rather get a colonoscopy out of 10.
Wow.
This sounds.
I went above and beyond for that punishment. I went above and beyond. That movie was horrific.
That 5
I
minutes
could tell.
of you describing it was horrific. So
Yeah.
It was bad. And I could tell your passion right there. Like, in terms of like torturing foreign terrorists out of 10, how would you rate that?
I mean, I gotta be honest, Tree. I know you're gonna disagree. I would rather listen to Antonio Brown's album. 100%. Because it's shorter.
I mean-
This was an hour and a half, and I sat there and I'm taking like notes into it. I'm like, all right, I gotta make sure to mention that. And then it finished, and I was like, the best part was like the mop on Sean Payton's head. That was the best part about the entire movie.
do you think the same people that made the movie made the Kentucky Fried Chicken movie with Mario Lopez in it? Have you ever seen that?
I have
The
not.
KFC. Oh my gosh. Don't try to punish me.
Let's go, David.
Don't try to punish me. I am Teflon, okay? Listen,
The
somebody
super-
just bought a super sticker too. That
Super
movie looks
sticker out of 10.
so bad. So bad.
It
Thank you
It-
for saving us the time. Major spoiler alerts.
don't.
And then what about Bostonitis? Was that kid any good in the movie?
Everything's
That's-
bad. Everything.
Everything's bad.
Even
like-
Bostonitis?
The
Mhm.
desk clerk literally shows Sean Payton his wife giving birth mid-birth, and he's like, "I don't think your wife would appreciate that." And they play it off like it's funny. It's just bad.
That
It's just
sounds
all
pretty
around
funny.
bad.
It sounds like a
What's
good
the
film.
worst movie that you've ever seen in a theater?
I actually walked out of one movie ever, like in my
Oh.
entire. I've seen a lot of movies, but I forget what it was like. It was sport. I mentioned it before. It was like a sports spoof movie, like in the time like years ago, where like everything was a spoof,
Oh,
and it was so bad. I don't remember what it was called though. I'd have to look it up again. I walked out.
I've never walked out of a movie, but I saw Ford Fairlane in the theater, and that was pretty bad.
Oh.
That was pretty bad.
The comebacks
I-
in 2007.
Oh,
Worst movie I saw was probably the 2016 Ghostbusters. Like, I was just bored throughout that entire movie. That's
I actually
terrible.
just
Oh,
watched the
you know
new
what?
Ghostbusters. I actually really liked it.
Hellboy. My kids wanted to see Hellboy, the new one or whatever.
Oh, the new one I heard
that
was
one
bad.
was so bad. That I've never seen, like Lobster Smith or whatever, whoever. There's some lobster guy played by Thomas Hayden Church, and it was so out of place. Like it was really bad. Even Mila Jovovich, who's still hot, by the way, but even her middle-aged hotness could not save that movie. So it
Yeah,
was
one of the
bad.
worst I saw was Fired Up.
What?
Fired
Is it a cheerleading
Up.
movie?
Yes, with the two dudes are becoming cheer. I don't even remember what it was about. It was a long time ago. It was a date wanted to go see that movie. I was like, what? And that was the last date I ever went on with that person. Like, you
Yeah.
chose this for our viewing pleasure?
Right. So then you just married her, and now you don't go on dates, right?
No, my wife is cool AF.
Yes, your wife is very cool, but
Although her
way
her
cooler
taste,
than you.
her taste in television, we're growing apart in
Yeah.
that department.
Do you watch This Is Us every Tuesday? I'm assuming, or whatever.
No,
So watch
we
yourself.
both gave up on that show. We both liked it at first. Then they
Mhm.
lost us.
Yeah.
She likes
All
to
right,
watch
let's
football
actually
with
get
old
into some Super Bowl predictions. I know we're talking about entertainment because there's really nothing else to talk about. We're winding down to the end of the year. We will have a show where we analyze the Super Bowl, and then we'll talk about all of our teams the whole offseason leading up to the draft. But I got a list of items that we can predict here, and we're gonna start with this one. Who is going? Would y'all stop? Would y'all seriously stop with the punishments?
Oh,
Oh, I
Like,
thought
we
like
just
what about
noticed?
that?
Those are
I know
old.
Good
Scooter's here. Y'all can try to. Scooter missed 2 weeks in a row. Punish him in absentia.
On our,
I'm
Scooter
sorry.
at least
When
has
was the last time
legitimate
we got punished
excuses for
by?
stuff.
It's been a while, but
Yeah, it's been
you know,
months.
Exactly.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you
Who's
skate
gonna
through,
win
it's
this?
like
Who's gonna win the Super Bowl MVP? Who's it
5
going
points
to
for
be?
greatest punishment delivered to himself. That's my
All right.
prediction.
Fine, whatever. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl MVP? Who's gonna hit the gritty during the Super Bowl?
Probably
and
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. Okay.
You
Brandon.
know who I would like to win it if the Rams win?
what's the question?
Oh, that's the
Sorry,
Cooper
I
Cup.
got sources. I'm
Yeah.
texting.
Cooper Cup.
Who's gonna win the
Cup.
Super Bowl MVP? That is cool. That
Super
is the
Bowl
Cooper
MVP?
Cup. Yes.
Super
who's gonna
Bowl
win it?
MVP? Oh, that's gonna be Von Miller.
Yeah,
Von
Five's done
Miller.
this week already. He's done. He's done.
Good.
Punish the bald man.
Good.
Bald man.
Von Miller, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, first defensive
Von
player
Miller.
to do it, sealing his Hall of Fame enshrinement. It's gonna be amazing. Sorry, Joe Burrow, but Von gonna get you.
Von
Right?
Miller.
Nom, nom.
Interesting. Okay. Urinating.
Oh, what do you want me to say?
trees.
Stafford or Burrow? Stafford or Burrow? It's gonna be one of those guys.
I mean, that's where the smart money is. There's such a bias towards quarterback in the Super Bowl, you know.
Mhm.
Tree.
Yes. I would say for my MVP, probably Joe Burrow. They like going quarterback with those sort of things. But I would prefer maybe Aaron Donald gets like maybe 5 sacks and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. I'd be cool with that. Old Pit alum getting an MVP. He deserves it.
I think I'm gonna go with your answer. I think Joe Burrow. If Cincinnati wins, even if Burrow has an awful game, he still wins the MVP because there's just nobody else. They're not going to give it to a wide receiver. Has that even ever happened? A wide receiver.
Julian Edelman.
winning?
Desmond Howard.
Oh yeah, Julian Edelman, one of the least deserving Super Bowl MVPs of all time.
How
got
bad
the
would it
coach.
be?
Well, James
bad would it-
White should have.
Oh, James White should have won one for sure.
Yes.
How
what
bad
were you
would
gonna
it sting though, Tree, if Mike Hilton won Super Bowl MVP?
Not really. I like Mike Hilton. I'm happy for him.
Well, I know,
So
but
that's how
he's
I
not
feel.
on the Steelers. So you'd be happy for him, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
I
would.
would.
You have a
I liked
soul.
him in Pittsburgh.
I would be a little
not my
upset
fault
if
the Steelers didn't pay
OBJ.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, he gets up and be like, yeah, F you Cleveland, F you New York, F you bald guy.
I'm not really upset about Odell leaving. Like, I was upset when the trade happened, but we actually got a return for him. Cleveland got nothing for him. They got like a compensatory pick, like I don't even think so. I don't think they got anything for him. They just had to eat his. They're paying him to be a Ram. All right. Who's going to have the most rushing yards in this game?
I feel like Mixon would. Rams are more running back by committee, so I feel like they're going to balance out between Henderson, Akers, and Sony Michel.
Are you looking at ESPN, Adam?
No, I'm spitballing here.
Oh. Well, because it's just Will and I did our podcast earlier, and we did the ESPN Pick'em thing, and
these are ones I just pulled out. I guess they're copying off of my brain.
They copied you. You should call.
They're
ESPN.
copying all of our brains. You should sue.
I can't believe ESPN would copy Adam.
Well, ESPN has had a lot of downsizing, so you know what? They got to take what they can.
Yeah, they're the
Project Veritas did another expose on them, so they're hurting and they need ideas.
They got to play modern Eggman. What?
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, I don't want to be Dr. Robotnik. Come on now, Dr. Moreau. Y'all just naming bald people. Golly, Brandon, who's gonna have the most rushing yards in this game?
Oh yeah, I think it's Joe Mixon too, because I think the Rams have 3 running backs they might be using now, and it would be cool if Samaje Perine somehow was that guy, because he broke off like an 80-yard run, like he had that 60-yard screen or whatever against the was that the Chiefs game when he broke that out, or the Raiders game, or the they all blend together, but probably Mixon. I say Joe Mixon.
Tom?
I concur. Yeah, I think it's Mixon just because it's a little bit more of a running back by committee for the Rams.
I have a different answer than all of you. I think the leading rusher in this game is going to be Joe freaking Burrow. Somehow he's going to run a couple options. He's going to scramble. He's going to run. He's going to accumulate like 75 rushing yards. They're not going to be able to run with Joe Mixon, so they're going to just have to sell out and give it to the young stud, Joe Burrow, who's going to rush for like 80 yards, and that'll be it.
80 rushing yards for Joe Burrow. Heard it here first.
Yes, that's your hot take coming in hotter than apple turnovers in your face. Who's going to have the most receiving yards? This is probably the toughest one to answer because there's a lot of receiving talent all over the field. Again, Brandon, tell me who's going to have cosplay as Gru. Come on now. As Johnny Sins. Oh, I do have...
T. Higgins is going to have the most receiving yards.
Low-key pick.
Old T. Higgins. You can't cover Jamar Chase or Cooper Kupp. We know. They're both elite. They're going to get their catches. But I feel like the Rams are going to focus on trying to take Jamar Chase out of the game, and I think T. Higgins is going to benefit from that because he might be a number 1 receiver on a lot of teams, just not the Bengals anymore. He's a solid number 2. Not an Odell joke. Not an Odell joke, Adam. Not an Odell joke, Adam. So yeah, T. Higgins. Final answer.
Tommy Grossi. Most receiving yards.
Oh, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Is that monogrammed on there? The Cooper, or did you just write that? Is that a monogrammed mug?
He's got
it's on there. Like, it's monogrammed on there, yeah.
Yeah,
I got this sent to me. It's great.
Oh, nice.
A Cooper Kupp.
Part of being an influencer.
I hate the term influencer. Can I say that?
I know we all do, but I like to use it.
It sounds like a snake oil salesman sort of thing. It's like I'm peddling crap to you. It's like I hate that so much. It's like I influence nothing. I can't even influence the bowels in the morning when I take a dump.
You have influence on Yinzers everywhere throwing stuff at their TV. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to go downtown and get a Pittsburgher.
Actually, what it is, it's like probably end up sending their hunting squads towards me, but that's a little different. But as in terms of your wide receiver pick, I want to say Cooper Kupp, if not him, OBJ, because he's going to be open a ton. And Cooper Kupp is going to probably be doubled up and allow space for OBJ to do his thing. He's going to be up against Eli Apple. So it's my guess, unless like they have Apple and Cooper Kupp, and I'm like, good luck.
An apple a day
Keeps
keeps a
An
secondary.
apple a day keeps the OBJ away.
So
True.
I've got another bold take here. The leading receiver in this game will also be Joe Burrow. They're going to run a couple Philly specials here.
No.
They're going to
okay.
throw it across to
I'm on to you.
to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to throw it probably left-handed. He's going to be like, Odell, like, I'm better than you at everything. You went to LSU, I went to LSU. But here's the thing. Joe Burrow is going to lead the team in receiving yards, probably going to catch 200 receiving yards just because just the fact that the Bengals are here makes no sense. And the fact that nothing I say makes any sense either. Joe Burrow with 200 receiving yards and maybe a pair of touchdowns. Okay. Most turnovers in the game. This is just a team pick here. You don't have to say a specific player turning the ball over, because we all know it's Matthew Stafford, but which team is going to turn over the ball the most in this game?
I'd probably say the Rams, because I feel like Matthew Stafford's going to throw a pick or two. I feel like since he's been playing more or less seamless football on offense, so if it's going to be the
Burrow's
turnover,
thrown more
it'll probably be LA.
interceptions than Stafford in the postseason. He has
But
thrown
they
one
also
more.
have Buffalo.
Look at you busting out stats. What's the chat saying right now, huh?
A lot of Rams.
A lot of Rams.
A lot of Rams.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with the Bengals.
Really?
I think
Who's going to
you get
turn
that-
the ball over?
Yeah, I think you get that little pressure on there, and considering, Joe Burrow was pretty well protected, and also the Bengals got after Pat Mahomes, but I think Joe Burrow might get hit a couple times. You never know if that ball squirts out.
Aaron Donald, Brandon, who's going to have the most turnovers?
It is
In this
the
game.
Cincinnati Bengals, and Super Bowl MVP Von Miller will cause not one, but 2 strip sack fumbles. I saw him do it to Cam Newton in the Super Bowl. Joe, you better watch out, because as soon as you think you're safe, you're not. Von Miller's there with the strip sack. Also, none of us picked Jamar Chase to have the most receiving yards. Is that a compliment basically to Jalen Ramsey, thinking like he'll do a decent job covering?
No, I think
I
Rams
think
going
they'll
to
get
get burned.
him open. I think they'll pick Ramsey a lot. If they try to man up, I think Jamar Chase will get open for sure. They try to pull that shit.
Yeah.
You said bad word.
Oh, pull that sniff. By the way, strip sack sounds very sexual. I don't know why. It sounds a little bonk, a little alert right there. All right. Which fringe celebrities do you think you will see? Like, name an obscure celebrity you think will be highlighted that doesn't warrant being shown on the TV, that will be there at the Super Bowl, and you're just like, oh, that guy's here.
Jackson Mahomes.
Do you think Jackson Mahomes is going to get airtime?
Dude, you'd be surprised. They'll throw cameras on anybody these days. Jackson Mahomes has a lot of hate flung his way. And maybe they want to create a reaction. So you know what? They see Jackson Mahomes. They're going to the producers throw Jackson Mahomes on there. That's going to create a reaction. That's the only reason why Jackson Mahomes is anything these days, because he creates reactions. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm seeing some good ones here. Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, that he has no.
Jimmy
he does
Kimmel.
not deserve any airtime.
Well, Jimmy
James
Fallon.
Corden could be one.
James
Tom, who's the
Corden.
least deserving celebrity that will be seen on TV on Super Bowl Sunday during the game, during the broadcast, not in commercials?
I am probably going to go with a
Okay.
random TikToker who I don't even know who they are. So the
Jackson
name is
Mahomes.
unknown because I don't know who they are. So some random TikToker who has never watched football before, but they're just like, hey, I got tickets. Which,
they're
by the
gonna
way,
be like,
have decreased. They're under $4,000 now.
Who's broadcasting the game? Do we know?
NBC, I think, right?
NBC. So it'd be like some show what are the shows that are on NBC?
This Is Us.
Oh, so Brandon Perna will be on the broadcast as the dad from This Is Us.
I'm
They
just gonna
wouldn't
sit
actually
in
send
front of a
Milo
green
Diesel.
screen
Yes.
and stream the whole game in silence,
Well, this is a
hoping
good
that
one,
they
White.
cut to
That's a
me,
good one.
key out the green screen, and then pretend that I am
Kurt
Jack
Benkert.
from This Is Us.
Yeah. Hologram Tupac's gonna be there. That's a
Hope
great
he
one
is.
as well. I listen, as a serious answer, Leo DiCaprio is gonna be there, and
He's
they're
not a
gonna be
fringe
like,
celebrity. He's like one of the
I know,
biggest.
I'm not
celebrities
saying
on
I'm
earth.
not saying
You
a
know what
fringe celebrity. I just know that they'll show
Yeah.
Leo being there with a hat on and some dime.
Well, they're
Apparently,
gonna-
he's a Rams fan.
I know who they're going to show. Gavin Newsom. They're going to show the governor of California, and they're going
Oh
to show
my
him without
God.
a mask, and everyone in California is going to flip out again. I know exactly.
Can we
how
see a
this goes.
hologram Harambe?
Yes.
We
That's
need
what
to
I
show
want.
him in a commercial. It's like Cincinnati, and they
If
just
they
show
win,
pictures of
if the
Harambe.
Bengals win, I want hologram Harambe to literally come out and like accept the Lombardi trophy. I don't care what you have to do it. Just make it do it. Just be like, this one's for
Yes.
Harambe, and he hands it off and he just ascends into the heavens.
He should give the trophy to Joe Burrow.
Yes. Yes.
Them
How about an
holograms
animatronic
He
Harambe?
throws
though?
Roger Goodell across the stadium.
I bet
I
there'll be
think-
some AVN award winners there.
Oh yes, a few. Like when Vegas, when Washington won the Stanley Cup in Vegas, there was that young lady who placed her thingies on the glass. You don't.
Those
read-
are
yes.
some
That's
nice
the
bazingas.
adult video
by the way.
award.
Yes, they were. Bonk, everyone.
Big deal.
Bonk. I also
Morning,
think a fringe celebrity could be Scooter Magruder. That could be.
Hey,
the-
Scooter
the-
Magruder's making his way in the world. That's why he's not here, because he's
making his
doing
way downtown.
celebrity stuff.
Yes,
Walking
watching the
fast.
clock.
What
Or
about
whatever.
Guy
Fast and
Fieri?
downtown.
I bet
Guy
Fieri's there.
Fieri? You think Flavortown is going to
Flavortown's on
represent?
there.
Flavortown.
Yeah.
Be all up in it.
Hey, he's getting 2 tickets to Flavortown. All right, they're just going to cost $5,500 a pop.
Yes.
Some
It would
Real
be cool if,
Housewives.
say, like Mark Rober or somebody gets on.
Honestly, you know what I want to be on? Ben Stiller and family. So I could technically say the Stiller suit.
Worth it. Worth it.
5 points in a Harambe suit. I would totally do that. If the Bengals win, I would wear a gorilla outfit. I would do the whole stream in a Harambe suit. If the Bengals actually win or lose, that would be hilarious. All right. Let's talk about the halftime show now. How cringe do you think? What if any? Which of one of the 5 acts here will deliver the most cringe during the halftime show? We've got an all-star lineup. We've got Snoop Dogg. Is that Mary J. Blige? Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar.
Oh yeah.
This is the hardest Super Bowl halftime show ever. Like, this is straight up. I'm
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
disappointed
good.
Cube is not going to be there, but we could have had 2/3 of NWA. A little upset.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
what
it's
is
gonna be
Blaze
good.
Johnson?
Call me crazy. I mean, didn't Snoop just buy Death Row Records?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Is Death Row Records still have the same
Did I say
notoriety
Lamar
in the
Odom?
90s?
I meant to say Kendrick Lamar. Did I say Lamar Odom? Sometimes
I mean,
maybe I had a
Kendrick
faux pas.
Lamar Odom. Be
Kendrick
humble
Lamar
with the
Odom.
Kardashians.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
vote for the white guy to mess it up. Eminem is gonna do something like trip on stage because he took too much Vicodin before going on, and his dyed beard just is gonna fall off, and some type of wardrobe malfunction is going to happen. But we should get some great memes out of this halftime show. So my vote is Eminem messing up the halftime show somehow.
I think it's going to
My
be good.
vote. I mean, I would say it's just going to be a nostalgia trip. That's probably all they're shooting for right now. Something out of like the late 90s, early 2000s. Because early 2000s nostalgia is really starting to pop up in terms of overall value right now. You know, like the 90s were the big thing, like 5-10 years ago. Then the 80s and 2000s, 70s, they go through waves. We'll have like a 70s revival and an 80s revival. And It usually happens like every 20 to 40 years. You get that sort of revival. So that's what they're shooting for right now. And if they can get some sort of like early 2000s sort of vibe, like Snoop Dogg is just going to come out with a pile of money and then he finishes his rap for like about 2 minutes and then he comes out with another pile of money and then just walks away.
How high do you think Snoop Dogg will be? Like, I think
Yes.
I guarantee that he wears
Yes.
sunglasses on screen, so on stage, so you just can't see how amazingly blazed he is. That's the way I think it was.
Are they going to be live
Brandon.
or is it going to be lip synced?
It's
That's the
always
real
lip synced.
Oh, it's
except
like,
for
yeah, it is
Prince,
lip sync,
'cause
except for when
Prince is a
Shakira
god.
did the tongue thingy. That was
Prince is a god.
yeah. We can't have scantily clad hot Latinas on the screen because Karen at home would protest.
Well, and
wanna
also
see
have the
Eminem's
men
nipple.
confused. Like we be talking,
You
like
wanna
looking at
see-
football, and then you see hot Brazilians shaking their ass. It's like, I don't know what to do.
I want
Remember
Eminem-
that
Full party
happened.
with buffalo chicken dip, and it's just like, oh man, Shakira still got it. What do I do?
Speaking of that, okay, so that section wasn't all that great. What is y'all's go-to?
Well, wait. If you
Oh.
want to bet on how good the halftime show is gonna be,
Or how?
where would you go, guys?
Where would you go?
Wow, where would
I go
you
to my underground bookie and then get my legs cut off because I lost. Or DraftKings, which is
What?
nowhere near as unsafe as going to a random bookie. Is absolutely safe as well. I believe they're offering 56 to 1 odds on any team in the Super Bowl, and the team you pick, if they win and you $5, put $5 in the account, you get $280 in free bets. You know what? If I bet that I'm like say the Bengals aren't going to bungle, they win Super Bowl, I get $280 in free
DraftKings
bets.
gonna
if I'm
pay
on
extra
New
for
Year's.
this read.
What?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, New York is gonna go crazy for that because they just hate gambling, and that means they're gonna go.
You're an
We're
eating
gonna
tree.
go
Are you
insane.
trying to communicate with the robots?
I don't
Who
know.
is your
I think-
leader?
But I will say that if you're not a
going right
proper user of DraftKings, and your state is primitive and does not allow sports gambling yet, you still have DraftKings like daily fantasy offering millions of dollars
still
in
going.
prizes every day. And remember, all you got to do is use this right here, code word clickbait, and not the code word robot, which is apparently my internet connection right now. With that. But I do not care because it means the DraftKings is going to the Super Bowl because they're good.
Here we go. I think he said it's live in New York now somewhere, and I think he said
It's Saturday
56 to 1
night.
odds, and,
Yep.
we did it.
He did
Bad
say
internet and all.
they're still doing the 56 to 1 odds. They're still doing that.
Yeah.
So,
If you bet
yep, they're doing
$5,
it.
you can win
56.
280 in free bets if you use code
Yep, for the Super Bowl.
clickbait.
Mm.
I'm
I'm
here to
actually
interpret.
going back. I actually am really excited for this halftime show. Like, it actually should be pretty damn good.
Should
Like,
be lit.
I'm actually pretty excited for it.
Should be quite lit. All right. Next thing is, who are the good commercials? Like, where do you think a good commercial will come from? Which brand do you think shells out the money and delivers us?
Did
a good
you?
commercial?
I already saw. I think it was GM. They came out like they got like the whole Austin Powers cast. Like they had Dr. Evil in there. They had Scott. They had number 2. Like it was. I saw
Wow.
it today. It was actually really funny. And maybe it's just because
Okay.
I like Austin Powers.
Are they
but
leaking Super Bowl commercials already?
They've
Like,
been doing that. They usually release them like a few days prior. Yeah, I saw an
Oh,
Amazon
that's-
one and I saw this one though, and it was actually really good.
there's definitely I like this. There's definitely going to be some cringe crypto commercials on like
Oh,
a
yeah.
$2,000 budget with some guy
Yeah.
just yelling BitConnect.
You're a
Oh, you remember that .com boom? They had those really awful commercials 20 years ago about websites that
Yes.
didn't pan out. Same thing.
Beans.com.
I'm waiting for the overly virtue signalless commercials for like M&M's and a few other brands where it's like we promote every single thing under the sun but don't actually care about anything we're trying to say. I'm really looking forward to those.
Right.
and how
We're
badly
installing
they're
a
gonna
new
get
factory in Botswana, but here's our commercial about sustainability. Like,
Yes,
that's-
we'll do. They should re-air that Chipotle commercial from Thanksgiving, where they go on a farm and then like a person dies It turns out, yeah, we'll be sustainable. And it's like Chipotle or Starbucks. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
gonna
remember
call-
that? Go ahead.
I was just say I'm going to call our contact over at DraftKings, and I'm going to ask them to play Trees Read that we just did in the Super Bowl. Just live verbatim, the internet cutting out. Like I say,
I didn't realize my internet cut out.
We'll do the show for free if they promise to play Steve's commercial in the Super Bowl, but it has to be from this episode and this episode only.
Yes, only just clip
I just
it.
want the Lord of the
clip it
Rings
and
trailer.
upload it.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Ooh.
You mean
Okay,
Game of
and this
Thrones
is
2.0?
not on the agenda. What's the best Super Bowl commercial that you can? I know what mine is, but what is the best Super Bowl commercial in your memory?
No clue.
Dude,
No,
I can't even remember.
Commercials.
there's some I like laugh at, and there's some I remember for bad reasons. Like the puppy monkey baby thing was like haunted my
Oh, yeah,
nightmares
that
for a
That was
while.
weird. I'm like, what? What was that?
Yeah, the Budweiser Frogs is all-time commercial.
It's classic.
dude.
Was that during the
that's
Super
the-
Bowl?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Let's go
commercial.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That was. I had one of those shirts as a kid.
the
It's like, I want the
Budweiser,
Budweiser frog shirt.
and
Beer's
now you're an
cool.
alcoholic.
Yeah, now I can't
Uh-huh.
remember.
We're all
anything because
alcoholics.
I'm
That's how we
drinking.
survive YouTube and football.
Yes. Or remember when Allie, what's her name, the hot chick caught Doritos in her mouth? You don't remember that one?
Allie
The
McBeal.
Bud Bowl, of course, I miss. The Bud Bowl would be lit if they did it now because they wouldn't have to use stop motion animation. They could actually like do some cool stuff with the Bud Bowl. But yeah, Allie Landry. That's right. She did the Doritos
Landry's
commercial,
daughter.
and they were just
Doritos is usually pretty solid with
shooting
their commercials.
loads of
DK,
Doritos
congratulations
out of
on that,
space.
brother.
All right. Okay. We're gonna do our laundry list items, and then
Yeah,
we will
the
give
Cardinals
our official
commercial.
Super Bowl
Mhm.
predictions at the end. So don't leave us yet. Laundry list items today. Ben Simmons was traded for James Harden in another
hope they both fail.
malcontent trade. So wasn't Russell Westbrook traded for James Harden? And now
No, it
James
was yeah.
Okay,
James
now
Harden.
James
Yeah.
Harden is being traded for Ben Simmons, and then Ben Simmons is going to be traded for some other garbage in the future. Like it's just like the NBA has this group cadre of MVP level players that hate their teams and hate the cities that they go to and just get traded at any time. I don't know. It's like it seems a little extra. What do you guys
Kyrie
think?
Irving's probably getting traded to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook. That's
Probably. I'm surprised that that Harden didn't end up on the Lakers somehow, or that LeBron's mystique is gone. Like no one wants to play with LeBron anymore.
Of
They're
course,
like, I
it's
don't wanna play
later
with
latter
that
stage
old
Kobe.
guy.
Nobody cares about the
Right.
Lakers, and I'm glad for that. They got a
Right.
Mickey Mouse ring bubble that was pretty much built for them to win a ring, and they've had nothing else.
Mhm.
I mean, apparently they're all
Brandon
bitching at
Tom
Anthony
totally
Davis
whammed
now,
it.
though.
Remember what the
You're
Bucks
saying-
did to the Lakers? That was fun.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
kind of-
bandwagoner.
Yeah,
That's fine.
whatever.
The Bucks,
Um,
the Bucks are still good, right?
They are.
Oh,
They
yeah,
got
probably
a
the
couple
favorite.
second round picks too, and some money. And they got
See, I
Sergey,
can't-
right?
I can't even process basketball until after the Super Bowl. Like it doesn't exist until after the Super Bowl.
Well, it's because they're probably
What's
the
this
Nuggets
sport?
are probably losing in the second round. So
Giannis.
I'm
But
reading
you do have
Twitter
their-
about 80 different coaching hirings and replacements and who's going to be this team's passing game coordinator. Like I'm looking at that stuff, refusing to acknowledge anything NBA related. I did see the Woj bomb for the Ben Simmons trade today.
Yep.
So he's going to play with Kyrie Irving and KD, right? That's the new super
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way,
So I guess he
And
can
I
leave the
think-
shooting up to them. You know, he doesn't really have to do much. Former #1 overall pick.
well, I thought he was going to
Ben
Guangdong.
Simmons.
He was going to play in China with the Shanghai
Oh,
Sharks, and
Guangdong?
the Guangdong Tigers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that Jurassic Park trailer today.
we're not allowed to cuss.
Go Raptors.
Anyways.
I got a Raptor. Hey, go Raptors.
Jonathan Allen with the most bizarre tweet in memory said that we can't say who he wanted to have dinner with, but literally said
That was so
the
weird.
worst
It was
person
so weird.
Like, he's
Go
not even a
Raptors.
military genius. Like, he
Yes.
overruled his generals and had delusions of grandeur. He led his armies
So
into
weird.
Russia in the wintertime, and we're not talking Napoleon. Like,
I think he
what
was
I'm
thinking
laughing
Rommel,
at
which
that
I can
tweet.
say. Yeah,
Like,
that was the
I was
most
trying-
bizarre tweet.
do you
I was
think most
trying to
people know about
understand-
Roman Rommel?
yeah, like I was trying to understand the mind frame he's in, because it starts out with like I'm just like listening to him say this out loud in my head, and I couldn't stop laughing after I read the tweet. But he's like, "Well, that's a good question. I would like to have dinner with my grandfather.
My grandfather.
Right. Yeah, let's go with
Loved
that.
him,
Uh-huh.
respected him. He passed away. I'd just like to share one more moment with him. And I don't know, Hitler and Michael Jackson. Like, where is the leap made to that? I don't know. I was like, did he really tweet this? And then his follow-up was like, I would just like to talk to him about some military stuff. No, don't ever. Hitler's never your answer. Never
Like,
your
Did
answer.
he
with
know
anyone.
anything about that
Anyone.
guy? Did he know anything about that guy? Like the whole Jesse Owens thing? Like, like he wouldn't even show up. Like he was he was a terrible, terrible person.
Just the people that he put it in with it too. And he's like, my grandfather, I just want one more conversation. Oh, and I'd also sit down with Adolf because, we can talk about like military strategy. Out of all the people in the entire history, that's the guy.
Yeah.
It's,
But
Yeah, not
If you
Gandhi.
want military
you
strategy,
know.
you talk to Alexander the Great.
MLK.
you do talk about Alexander the Great, that is
Hannibal,
accurate. Yeah, talk to
uh,
Hannibal if you want to.
Right.
We'll talk about
Harambe,
crossing
I
the
would
Alps and how
love
your elephants
to
died.
eat. I would just love to eat dinner with Harambe. Like he would have some great insight for me personally. He would enlighten me fully, maybe Buddha, things like people like that. But and Michael Jackson, of course, it would be kind of funny because he'd just be like, I'd ask him all about the
Imagine
hyperbaric
all three of
chamber.
those sitting at the table, like they're all there with him, and it's like it's
Eating
Michael
meat.
Jackson, Hitler, and this guy's random grandfather. Grandfather's like, who did
It's like,
you
who invited
request?
Why did you
well,
make these reservations, grandson? Why did you invite this guy, grandson?
Yeah.
Can you get Hitler to fucking leave our dinner, please?
He's yelling at the waiter, of course, because his food's not there on time. He's like, I came back from the afterlife for this. And he's like, my strudel is not cooked properly. Okay, that was just bizarre. And he doubled down on like his explanation for why.
Yeah, and then he apologized.
he apologized because he was probably.
you know what?
super
Dan
high.
Snyder's gonna release him and be like, we just want the culture to be good.
Yeah.
And it's just the ultimate ironic move.
NFL held a town hall where Goodell basically, pandered to the media. I don't even think we need to really.
I've been to
mention
one
that.
of those. When I was at Super Bowl 50, I sat through the Goodell meeting. I was like, oh my God, like I got to start taking this business more seriously. Like I'm sitting in the same room with Goodell talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
And then I went the complete opposite direction. And it's
It
just
worked out for you, though, man.
just as boring in person. But the crazy thing was this was 2016 and they were asking him the same questions like about the Broncos ownership situation. And at the time, Pat Bowlen was still alive, and the trust still has, like they make the final decisions. But like we were asking, like it was a local reporter was asking him, 6 years ago, like, what are you going to do about the Broncos ownership situation? It's like, I trust the
nothing.
trust. And now, that will finally probably change this year. So.
Yes, and we are now demonetized because you can't even say that guy's name without getting demonetized.
In Germany will be fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know you couldn't say that word.
Speaking of demonetized, Washington Commanders, they said originally that they hired an independent firm and then went back on it and said that, the NFL hired the firm that's going to investigate. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what the investigation is because the findings cannot be released without Dan Snyder's explicit permission, even though he is the main the person being accused of the nasty things, which we also can't say. Actually, if we say things like, that's probably will get us demonetized before we say a historical figure. Yeah, I thought that was really funny that, the NFL and investigations just don't go well.
No, this is the second one too. This will be the second investigation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Many.
And we all know what's going to happen. They're going to say like, oh, we found nothing wrong because, they gave us money and some scotch. So that's how it's going to be.
Well, what kind of scotch? That's the question.
Well, we'll get the scotch. We'll say Johnny Green, mid-tier. Not Johnny Blue. Johnny Blue's a little too pricey.
I was hoping for a 26-year Lagavulin. Sorry,
that's a
you're
little too
out,
pricey.
Dan
Ron
Snyder.
Swanson approves.
They'll settle for 15 Lagavulin.
Brandon, with that Toronto Raptors hat, I got to ask you, why aren't you in the convoy right now at the U.S.-Canada border?
Oh my God.
That was what you look like currently. You
No, man,
look
he's
like
going
a
out.
trucker.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Go
Okay.
Raptors.
Manning Cast is coming back. It's been renewed. I wish they would put it on YouTube or another platform so they could just ball out cuss. I think that would make it so much better if that could happen.
Peyton's got to get that money to buy the Broncos. So smart
yeah.
move, Smart move.
Also, who's put it together? The group, the media mogul, the what's his name?
Byron Allen.
Yes, Byron Allen is rumored to be making a play for the team. That could be unprecedented. You could have the first Black owner in the fraternity of the NFL. Could happen. I don't know what the vibe is there in Denver about how serious or realistic that is. Do you know anything that we don't?
He's going to make a bid. Will and I talked about him today. He's got a background in comedy, so he shot up very high in my list of guys I want. Also owns the Weather Channel, which means he controls the weather, and I think that's a huge advantage.
Yeah. I mean, just having
weather.
that much control. We've been overlooking this control for a long time. The dude controls the weather. I love the radar feature on the Weather Channel app. So if he owns Denver Broncos, I'm actually for it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I just want somebody who's going to really care about the team to purchase them. And I don't know, other than Elway being part of a group or Manning being part of a group, I don't know who that is. Like, I can learn about these guys, but I don't know who's actually going to care about putting a competitive football team together year after year after year. And that's what made Pat Bowlen so good. So you assume a guy like
franchise, it'll probably be an Elway if you think about it.
Yeah.
Should be, but who knows? The trust has been. Go ahead.
The trust has to take the highest bid. That's where it gets kind of weird.
Oh. So does Bolin's daughter just not have the money to do that? Like, she's just trying to sue because she's Pat Bolin's daughter, right? She's just like, this is my birthright, even though
I don't even know anymore. But I think the lawsuits have all been cleared up, and that's why they're now able to sell the team. I think one of the kids could put together a bid with a group. But that could happen. I don't think it's going to happen. They're all going to make like $300 or $400 million each.
Yes.
I think his brother gets a chunk. Pat Bolin's brother gets a chunk too. He's going to make the most money. So,
all right. Final tidbit item before we get into our official Super Bowl predictions is the NFL to play a game in Munich.
Yeah.
Germany.
I like this.
Yes, Germany.
I'm so pumped for that.
Yeah, I'm into it because remember the Frankfurt World League team was pretty good. I would love
Frankfurt
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yes, the Galaxy. I'd love for them to play a game in Barcelona. That would be a good game there. But yeah, I think the more they expand a little bit more eastward into Europe would be a good thing for the game. And
Clickbait Sports does Europe coming in 2023.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a bit of breaking news here.
Yes, what have we got?
So even though Scooter Magruder just got done playing Madden with one Najee Harris, He has fulfilled one of his punishments,
Oh.
and I will be playing it for you.
Right now?
Oh, we got
Oh,
Scooter,
wow.
LA Scooter.
Scoot.
Oh my god. Baby.
It was just missing the Scooty Scoot Scoot, but
Yeah,
Hey, you know
we'll
what?
fix that.
we
We'll
can
fix
dub that. We can
Yeah.
dub that.
Yeah,
We'll get-
we'll get that. A little critique. It's supposed to be at night, so but fair enough. He's out in or wherever he is. That looked like California.
Scooty Scoot Scoot.
And he
One of those
he
rental
did hit
tutors
the
that freaked me
smile.
out.
He did hit the Elway
No,
smile.
no, we got this. We'll take care of
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, you guys edit
We'll
it up,
finish it off.
make it. We'll play it again for him when he returns next week, unless he gets called out to
He probably
do
will
something
be.
else that famous people do. All right, it's time now for our
Who wants to
official
be a millionaire?
Super Bowl predictions. If you're going to go bet on DraftKings.com, official betting partner of the NFL and the Super Bowl. We can say it. We can actually legally say it. Brandon, official Super Bowl prediction, which you've probably made or changed now
I've
6 times.
made several times. I think the Rams win. In my video about the Super Bowl, I predicted a final score of 73-71, and Von Miller ends the game on a strip sack. So
All right.
Little
see how good that is.
sound sexual again. Strip sack. Rob Ott, what is the final of the Super Bowl
Ooh,
and
Rob
who wins
Ott.
it?
A
I thought you said
million.
robot.
Rob
Robot.
Ott. That's you, Tree. That's you, buddy.
Mhm. Oh yeah, Robot. Well, I'm going Bengals because absolutely nothing makes sense anymore, and there's this upset every week. So you know what? How fitting would it be then? A Bengals team that technically should not be here, they end up winning the Super Bowl. It's like, why not? Boost our rebuild for a couple years. Why not?
Okay.
Come on,
And-
this should be the
And
filler.
how many bridges are in this picture? Tom Grassi,
I see
official
what you did there.
Super Bowl
I am not a robot.
prediction.
I want the Bengals to win with all my heart. I want the kitty to go meow. And if they do win, I think it's by a field goal. But I do think the Rams are going to win by, I'd say like 10.
I think here's another hot take. I think Joe Burrow will personally win the Super Bowl. Like it won't be Bengals 31, Rams 28. It'll be Joe Burrow 31, 28 after he gets the most rushing yards, after he gets the most receiving yards. No, I am picking the Bengals because every year I pick the favorite, it always messes up. Like last year, Tampa somehow won. I don't know. That was awful. This year, nobody's going to be upset whoever wins, though. I am with Tree. I would hate to see Stan Kroenke lift the Lombardi trophy just because
That's
he's
fair.
a terrible person.
He's-
But, he's probably going to die, in the next 20 years. So it will just,
Yeah, but yeah,
whatever.
But fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
we're still not supposed to cuss. But anyways,
Whatever.
let's go.
Sorry.
Bengals 31, Rams 28,
fun,
because just like Robot said, nothing makes sense anymore. Okay. Let's do the countdown. I think we know who won this time. Start thinking about.
Do I sound
Sing
like
it.
a robot? Yeah. Do I sound like a robot?
Yeah.
I'm not a robot.
15-4. This is what the money's been donated for. Oh yeah. Are we gonna
Five's
see
gonna go
five
home.
as a sexy nurse?
Think because he is a ball sack of shit.
Oh yeah.
Brandon, how much money did you get?
I've totaled in at $22.93.
Brandon needs to be punished next week. I don't care what
No.
y'all say. Brandon has not been punished in a long
He
time.
had to do a monkey tail, man. He's gotten punished enough.
Yeah, but that was by his own doing. That was not a clickbait
He
punishment.
raised $20,000 for
116.31.
charity,
He is
man.
going to have to make a video about him learning how to hit the gritty.
Thank you guys for the help
116.31.
with that too. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
116.
Those are awesome.
Rob
I love
Ott, how much money did you make?
Well, $101.15. Top 5. Let's see. How much did you make, buddy? Come on. How much you make? How much you make? How much you make?
Oh, we're looking at least 4, at least.
It's gonna be an undisclosed amount of number.
Nope,
It's
what do we got,
definitely
5?
more
No,
than
you gotta say it, you gotta say it.
100.
No, it's a lot more than 100 because you got a
Oh, I mean,
200.
you at least
got
got 300 from
69, you got
Blaze.
100. What do you
So
get?
you know what? Come on. Come on.
$767.
Look
That's
at
a
you
big
raking in that
one.
money.
Yeah.
All
You guys.
Ooh.
761. All right.
It was your you've been long overdue, buddy. Let's not deny that.
There you go. There you go.
So
I saw a lot of
panel-
great ideas.
Yeah,
what do
you
think-
have a lot to choose from here.
Yeah. Do we
I
go
saw Dr.
Harambe?
Robotnik. Saw that.
Do we make him watch the Pro Bowl?
That's not enough.
I already
honestly.
Yeah,
seen
true.
most of it, so I know what happens.
Yeah, there was in the chat. There was a Dr. Robotnik. There was a sexy nurse. That was like the first one.
There's
A
Harambe.
Harambe suit was in there too. You also said you would like to do that though.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I would
fun.
not want to do Harambe. It would be really hot, like that whole,
Oh
thing,
yeah,
like, it
you know
would
what
be-
else is really hot? A
Oh.
giant shampoo bottle.
Yeah, so I would not want to do
in the
that.
middle of August.
Oh my god. Shrek in full body paint. Get out of my swamp!
And I'd have to talk with a Scottish accent the whole time. Donkey!
I
would
would
break
love
character so quickly.
I would love to see you painted green and doing Shrek. That would
Draw on a
be
unibrow, dress up as a
Oh,
tiger and
that
say
would
kitty
be-
goes meow.
Kitty goes meow. I will take
My wife. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say I will also take dressed as a cat, like in a furry suit with your face painted like a kitty. That has some potential there.
Well, what if we do something dependent on the outcome of the game? Like, if
Okay.
well, then I wouldn't have time to get it done. I wouldn't have time to order
That's true.
whatever it is. So you got to make the decision now. I guess it would be either humiliating or glorious. So you guys, where's Brandon? Like, he just decided to quit in the middle of the show.
He just said F it and left, so I don't blame him.
Yeah. So okay.
So do
He
we
got
want
tired
you-
of dealing with you 5 whining
All right,
about
so Tree,
super chat.
Do we want
5 Shrek
Shrek,
vids.
Dr. Eggman, or a full blown cat?
Ooh, I feel like
I'm okay with
Shrek
all of them
would be the
because
most
all of them require face paint.
Yes.
Perna
I'm
chair?
trying to
What is that?
think.
Oh, we should interview
It-
Perna's chair. Look at the
What-
hemorrhoid pillow that he's got on there, by the way.
Is it comfy though?
It does look
I
comfy.
see,
but,
like,
he's got
it's
the
got
donut
Peyton
pillow
Manning.
down there for his hemorrhoids. Okay.
Indeed.
Are we gonna make a decision so we can cut
Tree,
the
what do you
show?
think?
Well, I like Shrek or a cat costume.
I kinda wanna-
Memories.
I kind of want to see him in a full blown cat costume and then like a painted face with whiskers and everything. I think I'm kind
That
of
wouldn't
leading
be a
towards
bad
that.
idea. I could see that with little kitty goes meow action.
Yep, little kitty goes meow action. It'd be
Yeah.
even better if the Bengals lose, honestly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be
Yes.
funny. Okay. All right, fine. It's a cat's
All right,
costume.
let's do cat
I'll
Full blown
costume.
paint
cat,
my
gotta paint the face.
There you
Yep,
go.
hold on.
Yep, I'm go on Amazon right now and order it and just do all that stuff. All right.
Excellent.
All right.
Tree, what you got coming out?
Costume.
Well, I released a couple hockey vids and Eastern and Western Conference Haters Guide, and then I'm probably working on the NFL season debriefing, and then I'm pretty much free to do whatever. So I'm finally free with my excess, but I'm probably doing a Super Bowl stream on Sunday, another shit-tacular. So
Woo!
that'll be tons of fun. There'll
No,
probably be
no.
counter raids and raids aplenty. Tom, what about you? What do you got coming up?
Tonight, in just a little bit, I'll have a Raiders reaction video coming out. Per and I will be streaming a good old Super Bowl stream, of course, so we'll be raiding each other all night. And on Saturday, of course, I'll be bringing back NFL bedtime stories, recapping this past season. So
Ooh, very nice.
that's it.
Five.
I
what do you got,
have a video on what gets a head coach fired in the NFL. Like, what specific things can a coach does that gets their asses out of here. There's certain traits that every fired coach displays, and these are the ones that happen. So there you go.
Brennan's
Turn
chair,
away,
what do you
turn
got?
up.
No.
Well, my ash is coming out with a new hemorrhoid pillow. It's a little bit more inflated, and it balances where my little doohickey, my little dingleberries hang out of my little rectum.